This is Luke Radowski in sunny England here with the one and only David Icke. Now, David Icke has taken a huge project upon himself and is launching a 24-hour news network. David, can you tell us more about what you're doing and why you're doing it?
Well, when you put it like that, I'm starting to shake a bit because what we've taken on is just massive, but it happened so quickly. I was interviewed about 5 weeks ago by a journalist from a major Sunday newspaper in this country called the Sunday Times, and it was for what they said was a major, many page article for their Sunday magazine. And along came this concrete-minded journalist to talk to an author of unique books who had not read a single page of any of them. And it was an unpleasant experience, and I thought, you know, we're not going to get this stuff out through the mainstream media. We're not. And at the same time, the funny little thing, a friend of mine, we've got on the little island where I live, we've got something called White Bay on the Isle of Wight, which is like the Isle of Wight version of eBay. And someone had an internet radio station for sale, £500. I thought, what? And it wasn't good enough for us or anything like that, but the two things had come together. Yes, why don't we bypass the mainstream media by getting our own thing going? And then I thought, well, don't just want a radio station. I want a radio and TV capability, and want to push it more and more into television. And then I thought, and I want this running 24 hours a day. I want part of the day is going to be run from presenters in England, part of the day is going to be run from presenters in America, and other people around the world are going to do specific programs during the week and the weekend for their country. I want a real presence exposing the truth in the Middle East, which the mainstream media will never do. And suddenly it's like, well, okay, well, how do we pay for it? And I'd never heard of these, what do they call them, crowdsourcing things?
Indiegogo, crowdsourcing.
Oh, that thing, yeah.
Platforms.
I'd never heard of it, but Sean, my webmaster producer and mate, said, well, let's give it a go on that. And we went for £100,000 in 30 days. Then that's the absolute minimum to get on the air. And we passed it in 6 days, and I've never done anything in my life that has attracted such instant, spontaneous interest and support and enthusiasm. And we're getting emails from all over the place from people that want to work on it and give their time for free as well as being presenters, because personally I'm not taking a penny from this project whatsoever. I'm doing everything to get it on air, and I'll do everything afterwards for nothing. Because I've called it the people's voice, because when I was saying, yes, let's go for this, the people's voice was just going around my head and repeating itself, the people's voice, the people's voice, the people's voice. So I thought that's the great title. Because what I want it to do is two things, is give people information they won't get from other sources, and give them constant access to it 24 hours a day, but also give access of the public to the station and to the output, not just in phone-ins, but there'll be lots of them, but also, as you know very well, around the web, and you're an example, around the web are some tremendous pieces of video and documentaries, and people have put productions together of very good quality about various subjects that we talk about. And they've done it off their own bat. They've done their own editing and all the rest of it. They put it on YouTube. Some might get quite a few hits. Some very good stuff does not get too many hits. What we want to do, the people's voice, is to take those videos and give them a platform, and not just once either. You know, we've got so much airtime, we can make them available more than once. And have people specifically who want to make a statement about a subject and who have researched the subject to make a video just with us in mind, and we'll put it out and we'll have them in the studio or on the end of the line explaining why they made it, the subject, the information they've uncovered about it. And I want to give a platform to bands who have untouched by the people are uninterested in the corporations. I want to use the music side of the content to also expose the corruption and the Satanism within the mainstream music industry. Give a voice to musicians, not just singing, but with their opinions and the songs that they sing and write about. Give comedians who no one will talk about or give airtime to, who have something to say. Well, I mean, there was one at the Bilderberg event yesterday. I didn't hear him. I spoke to him afterwards. I heard him from a distance because I was just about to go on. But everybody with me who was right down there said he was absolutely brilliant. So these are the people. I mean, I'd never heard of him, and probably hardly anyone's heard of him. But if he's got talent, well, this station will put him on air and give him a voice and give him a platform for his talent and what he has to say. So it's very, very exciting. It's an incredible amount of work in a short time, and but it has an energy behind it. It has a force behind it that is not like nothing I've felt in anything I've done.
Putting together a 24-hour news network is not easy. Just putting on one program is not easy, but the money's raised. This will happen. This will be on TV, so it's very exciting. I look very much forward to being involved in it as much as I can. So it's definitely going to be exciting. What do you hope to accomplish with this network? What's the main goal? I know it's about providing a platform that's away from the mainstream media, becoming the mainstream media, but ultimately, what do you want to accomplish with everything?
Well, first of all, this is not about me. There's not going to be a David Icke show. I'll be flitting in and off quite a lot, I suspect, but talking about different subjects. But I'm going to work on this in giving a voice to other people mostly. And it's interesting, you know. I've been saying for years, if you want to change something, then rather than find a solution, remove the cause of the problem. Now, the cause of the problem in the sense of humanity as a whole being enslaved by the few is that humanity as a whole, although it is changing, but it's still the vast majority up to now, is in ignorance that it's being manipulated, the end to which this manipulation seeks to take us, and the people involved. So I want to remove the cause of the problem in that sense by having 24 hours of airtime in which the real story of how the world is run and manipulated and the end to which it is taking us is exposed. That will remove the cause of that problem. It will remove the cause of ignorance. Now, there's another cause of human control by the few of the many, and that is acquiescence of the many to authority. So the tail constantly wags the dog, the elephant, the planet, whatever. And another thing I want to do through this station, with the input of the people, is to be a means, a vehicle, a communication means to organize and orchestrate a mass global campaign of non-violent, non-cooperation with our own enslavement. And this brings me to number 3 in this trio of control mechanisms, and that's divide and rule. What this station will also set out to do from day one is to get people, encourage people to put down the fault lines of religion and race and income bracket and culture and all this stuff that divides and rules us. So we're fighting among ourselves, so the few, while we're fighting, are pulling the strings of all of us and laughing all the way literally to the bank and the concentration camp. So those things are absolutely at the heart of what I want to do. Also, you know, we will be the vehicle in any country that wants to do it to publicize things that are happening that will get bigger numbers of people to something. Maybe it's a protest, maybe it's a festival, maybe it's just something, a gathering making a statement. We will be a vehicle to give publicity to it and encourage people to go there, whether it's in New York or London or Sydney or wherever. And also, we have obviously many things. I mean, a very recent example is the massive protest against Monsanto, which the mainstream media virtually ignored. Well, what we would do in these major protests is cover them live. And I'm sure in New York you'll be there, mate.
I was already doing that
Yeah.
in New York City.
But what we can then do is have these protests live. So all the way through the protest, you or anyone else in different countries are talking to the people involved. They have one-to-one, direct, uncensored, somebody wants to know.
Yeah.
Hello. All right. I don't know. I'm in Watford. That's all I know.
Do you want me to move?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Can, please.
All right.
Live is definitely
Yeah.
the way to go.
Okay.
I apologize.
She never answered because she's on camera.
Anyway, live is definitely the best way to go.
There you go. We've just been live, haven't we?
Yeah. And I like what you said before, because that's always been my major belief system, is that information, knowledge is power. And that's why the elites who control information, who control the mainstream media, the six conglomerates who have that control on it, they're the main reason, I believe personally, that we're facing the problems we're facing, because they're holding back the ultimate true information, the ultimate true knowledge away from humanity. And because they do that, they're allowed to do that because we're in ignorance. And when we're ignorant, we're weak and we're not as powerful as we should be. So this channel, I hope, is probably sounding like a great way to empower the human beings and also provide live platforms to show exactly what's happening.
Yeah, I mean, we, apart from the law of libel, and I'm very happy with that, because the last thing I ever want to do is say things about people that aren't true. I mean, that is absolutely against everything I stand for. So apart from the law of libel, there will be no censorship. So people will, on both ends, people will know when they come on the station that they will not be censored, and people listening to the station will know that they're going to listen to uncensored information.
But as the door kept closing, Luke just kept bumping it with his microphone so that it would open again, so we had a few more seconds to talk.
You have to be persistent, and you have to keep asking them the question.
I don't know, it may have changed a bit since my day.
Tony Blair is the most wonderful example of the soulless frauds and liars that